Hey ladies, good morning. It's Kate. Welcome back to The Real American Housewife, and dare I say happy fall. I feel like Labor Day has come and gone, so the spirit of fall is upon us. The kids are going back to school. Football starts this week, and so in an effort to really embrace the season, I know a lot of people are starting to decorate their homes for fall, make them a little bit cozier for football games, a nice place for the kids to come home to after school and kind of unwind from their day. So I always decorate my house on September 1st. This year was no exception, and I'm working on a home tour for you guys to kind of walk you through my house and my decor and some of the practical, economical decorating tips and tricks that I have learned recently and I've applied over the years. So stay tuned for that. But before I did that, I wanted to bring you guys in to focus on what I consider to be kind of a point of tension when a lot of people are decorating their home, and that is the mantle. It just, mantles are all so different, and there's a lot that you can do with them. It's kind of centered in your home, so it's definitely a point of interest. It's something that's on display, and so I feel like there's a lot of pressure, and so I wanted to put together this quick video just to kind of walk you through my thought process whenever I'm decorating my mantle. My mantle looks different every season. It looks different every fall, and so I know your mantle is going to look different. So today's video is all about helping to get you on the right track for decorating, kind of get your mind wrapped around some ideas and tips and tricks that you might want to consider when you are decorating. It's not so much on the aesthetic of things or DIYs or certain looks or anything. I'm not doing any of that. This is all about the mindset of decorating to help you get unstuck, to help decompress you if you're a little overwhelmed and not sure what to do. So I hope that you enjoy this. I hope that it helps you if you're feeling like you're not sure what to do and maybe that's deterring you from decorating. I hope this gives you some inspiration and some confidence to get started with that. So without further ado, let's jump into a how-to for mantle decorating, really for any season. Okay, so we're going to walk over to the mantle in a little bit, and I am going to kind of walk you through the actual hands-on decorating process. But before we do that, I want to walk you through the first step, which is kind of setting your vision. So before you even pull out your totes or clip your coupons or hit the stores, you need to have a vision for your house and what you want it to feel like, what you want people to to feel when they walk into your home. So some people like to call this an aesthetic. I hesitate to use that term too much because I feel like you have to pinpoint one specific look or feel for your house, and that's not true at all. I like a farmhouse, chic, cozy cabin, mountain cabin type aesthetic. So I kind of have a blend of aesthetics. And if you want to explore different options, I would recommend going on Pinterest, and you can type in fall aesthetics in the search bar, and they'll give you a ton of different options to kind of explore different looks, the names to go with them, so you know what type of what category you're decorating for, and you can explore it further. Then you know the search terms, and you can kind of explore items and different looks and YouTube videos about that. certain look. So kind of sit down and go through, you know, decide on what you want your home to look like. Another favorite thing of mine to do is to go through magazines. So this one's Balsam Hill. I got it because if you saw in some of my other videos, we just recently purchased a Balsam Hill Christmas tree, so they sent us a magazine. I know magazines are expensive. You can look online. A lot of magazines have gone virtual now, or if you're in line at the grocery store, you know, pick up one of the magazines while you're waiting to unload your groceries and kind of flip through there, you know, take photos of something that might catch your eye that, you know, that you really like. So get your aesthetic nailed down, and hand in hand with that, what you'll find is outside of just a certain look, you also need a color palette. And if you go on YouTube and you watch some homemaker videos, a lot of women do up their homes beautifully. You know, they're so talented, and they even apply colors that I wouldn't consider fall, but by the time they work it in, like blue, one of my favorite homemakers incorporates a lot of blue, which I associate with spring, and summer, maybe an icy blue for winter, but not fall, but she makes it look like fall. So get your color, you know, your color palette together. You know, what kind of hues do you want to incorporate? And like I said in the beginning of the video, this is not about me pushing my aesthetic on you, it's about you finding what works for your home. But I will say, you'll notice in my home tour video, and even today, I'm a big fan of muted colors, and so I love neutrals, and I love muted oranges, and, you know, purple hues, and different things, but I also incorporate and offset them with a lot of neutrals. So I use a lot of white, I use a lot of black. Green is a neutral. A lot of people don't realize you can work with, you know, green and brown as a neutral to kind of offset more vibrant colors like orange and red. So I would encourage you to do that, because if you just buy everything in orange and everything in red, it's all just going to kind of blend together, and sometimes it just doesn't look well. It doesn't all mesh together. It just looks like you threw up a bunch of, you know, orange and red all over your home. I guess if that's for you and that's what makes you feel comfortable, go for it, but I would explore incorporating some neutrals into whatever color palette or whatever aesthetic that you have. You know, and definitely explore different hues of different colors. So, you know, you have orange, and you have yellow, and then you have gold, and you have reddish golds, and different things. So, you know, just kind of think about, you know, if you have, you know, if you're doing a tablescape and, you know, you have like an orange plate, maybe think about a neutral, you know, charger, or some neutral colored napkins, or something like that. Okay, so step one, set your vision. Stop the video here, grab your pen and pencil, start doing your research, and pinpoint down what it is that you want. Okay, step two, decorate, right? No, not yet. Sit on your hands. Step two is to assess the space that you have. So assess your mantle. I have seen some really large, gorgeous, beautiful mantles, and I have seen some smaller mantles on, you know, if you just have like a smaller fireplace, or maybe it's not even really a mantle, maybe it's more like a shelf. But know the space that you're working with, and with that, which seems like common sense, but it's something you really have to consider, is do you have an electric fireplace like I do, or do you have a real fireplace? Because if you have a real fireplace, when it comes to hanging things. Maybe you want to hang some spooky, you know, cobweb garland or something from your mantle for Halloween, or even, I'm sure you already know, you know, stockings at Christmas time. You have to be careful so that those don't catch on fire when you light your fireplace, you know, or at least remember to move everything out of the way. But you know, so you have your aesthetic, you have some ideas, you know, in mind of things that you might want to purchase to help you decorate, things that you already have that you might want to pull out to help you decorate. But before you do all that, assess your space and what you can actually put up there, because what you don't want is for your mantle to look super cluttered with just a bunch of things. Everything you can find you're just throwing up there, or mismatch things that don't really go together. So assess how much space you have, and you know, and what could actually fit there. Another thing you'll notice about my mantle and fireplace, which is very common, so you might also have this struggle, is our TV is mounted above our fireplace, so we don't have a lot of vertical space to work with, and so sometimes that you know, can cause issues. I've heard a lot of you know, DIY decorators talk about doubling up on their garland to make their mantles look more full, you know, or putting a fall inspired, you know, sign behind their garland to put on the wall, or what have you. You know, obviously I have to not disregard those videos because they're good ideas to keep in mind for other things, but that doesn't work for me because that is not the type of space that I have for my mantle. I can't put, you know, a sign or double up on my garland too much, because then I'm blocking, you'll see the power outlet back there. If we're streaming movies, my husband plugs in our laptop through our HDMI to our TV. So there's a lot that goes on up there. So I can't overdo it. I can't do too much. I don't have a lot of vertical space to work with. And something else that I want to show you guys, I'm going to flip my camera around, is the width. So you'll see I don't have a lot of width to work with. Enough, but not a whole lot. So, you know, again, for me, incorporating a lot on my mantle is just not an option. It's not something you want to do anyways. You don't want to overwhelm it, but you do want it to look full. You don't want it to look bare. And so that's what we're going to talk about next. Okay, so the third step in decorating your mantle is it kind of bleeds into assessing your space, and that's taking an inventory of what you already have. So my space just conveniently happened to fold into my mashup aesthetic of, you know, farmhouse chic, cozy mountain cabin, because it came with this beautiful distressed whitewashed mantle. So that kind of fits in with what I'm going for. And so I like to add in a lot of natural elements to kind of accent that, you know, the pre-existing mantle aesthetic that's already there. So you'll see behind my garland, I incorporated a dough bowl. And so I got this dough bowl when we moved into our current home, and it usually sits on my kitchen island and holds, you know, some decorative accent, you know, balls. And so I took it down because I do something different for my tablescape during fall anyways, and I put it behind my garland. And so like I had mentioned in step 2, you know, I can't double up on my garland. I can't do much vertically because of my TV being right here. But the dough bowl kind of helped to give me that, you know, full harvesty look. It added something extra, so it just didn't look like I, you know, threw some garland up there and called it a day. And it has that nice woodsy, you know, texture to it, that earthy element that I'm looking for. So that was perfect for my needs, and so I applied it. I don't want to focus too much on the garland because I feel like this is more personal preference, but I got this at Hobby Lobby a couple years ago on clearance. And again, you'll notice it has like the pine cones in it, you know, the earthy elements I'm looking for. The leaves are muted, they're not, you know, bright, vibrant reds or anything. You know, we have some golds in there, you know, the neutral greens, some berries. There's different textures in here, which I love. I feel like these more, you know, rustic branches really fold well into the mantle. So again, I just, you know, I got this on sale. It fit into my aesthetic. It's what I had this year, so I pulled it out again. The next thing you want to focus on your mantle when you're taking an inventory of what you have is different elements of height. And so whenever you're creating a display, whether it's, you know, a table setting or a coffee bar or what have you, you always want to have varying heights involved because it's pleasing to the eye, right? You know, it's fluid, it helps your eye move through the scene. You know, it's not just one slab of something. And so I looked for pieces that had different heights. The main thing that you'll notice are my two black candlesticks. I love using black as a neutral, especially in the fall and in the winter. I feel like it's so elegant, and especially if you're going for more of a Halloween type vibe, you know, black is perfect for that because it goes both ways. So I actually got those at an estate sale. I think they were like $2 a piece. And when you're looking for candlestick holders or, you know, what have you, estate sales, garage sales are perfect for that. So I got those at an estate sale this year actually, and they're pretty tall. So when I put them on my mantle, originally I was gonna put some candles on top, you know, some thicker candles. But as you can see, I went a different route. And I decided to go with some cute little white pumpkins that I've had forever instead, for a few reasons. The first being, I think it's cuter. I think it's seasonal. Who doesn't love pumpkins in fall? I don't have a lot of white on my mantle, and so it added in that extra neutral that I wanted. You know, it kind of pulled into the whitewashed wood. I added the picture frame later, so that kind of pulled in together. So, A, because the pumpkins fit the scene. B, because I didn't want too much height. If you added on candles on top of those already really tall candlestick holders, it was going to add a lot of height to my mantle, and I didn't want extreme height variances. So just remember that everything should be dual purpose, at least I see it that way. Just because you have candlestick holders doesn't mean you have to put candles on top of them. You know, so get creative. If you have pumpkins lying around, or if it's your kitchen and you have some faux apples or real apples that you want to incorporate, you know, anything that you think will fit your scene, I would highly, you know, and not add, you know, too much height to what you're going for, I would highly recommend. So I also went with, I'm a lantern girl, and you'll see on the end here, I have this lantern out almost year round. I thought it was perfect. It's kind of like a gray washed lantern. It has like that old antique-ish look, which is kind of Halloweenish, more fallish. It pulls into the muted tones, the whitewashness again. So I just left it up there. There's no need to change out every single thing in your scene. If there's something on your mantle that you already have that you feel could work, again, it's dual purpose, it could work for multiple seasons, just keep it, you know, keep it. I could always pop in that lantern, an orange candle if I wanted to, or a black one if I wanted to go for more of a Halloweenish look, or around, you know, Halloween time. There's some really cool DIYs on YouTube where you can take, you know, scenes from magazines that you really like, you know, owls or spooky elements, and actually like mosh posh, or I don't know what the technical term is for it, but like, you know, turn your candle into that aesthetic. So you could do a DIY and, you know, really dress your candle up if you wanted to, but the lantern itself was perfect. And so that's what I mean by assessing your inventory and what you already have. I did not even move that. It was in the same exact spot before I started decorating. And then same thing with the other end cap element. I always have that picture frame of our little family there. It has those cute beads on it, which I feel like are really warm and cozy for fall. That's a big thing. If you go to like Hobby Lobby or, you know, Home Goods, around this time of year, there's a lot of like the beads. It says blessed on it. That's kind of a fall thing. And again, you know, the white kind of tied in with my little pumpkins, the whitewashed wood. So I left it, again, same place. I didn't move it. So really the only things I added in here were one string of garland, my pre-existing dough bowl, some estate sale candlesticks, and some pumpkins I already had. And this is actually one of my favorite Mantle looks. I was really proud of this year. You might see in my home tour, I'm flirting with the idea of adding in some twinkle lights, just for evenings. It's getting darker out sooner, so I can turn those on to give the home a little cozier ambiance. You know, if my husband and I are watching a movie or something, to kind of just set the scene, set the mood, or, you know, we're hosting a little get together and it's getting late, I can just turn those on, and just kind of makes everybody feel welcome to hang around. So I might string those through before the home tour video. I really highly recommend adding some light to you know, scenes like this, some light elements, whether they are actual candles. Again, assess your space. If candles are not safe, you know, don't incorporate them. If you have a real fireplace, you know, maybe that's enough for you. But just kind of, you know, again, you know, assess your space, take an inventory, and don't be afraid to continue, you know, adding on to things. I would say that's, if we have a step number 4, that's step number 4. You know, call it good for a day, and then, you know, go back to it. Don't be afraid to take a few days to think about it, and then, you know, go through more of your totes, or go browse the store and see if you feel like you're just still missing something, what that something is. You know, nobody's saying that your mantle has to be done in one day. You know, in 2 weeks, if you find something, you know, put it up there. I leave, like I said, I decorate September 1st, and I leave my fall decor up through early to mid-November, and then I decorate, I do, you know, wintry / you know, Christmas through December, and then I leave my winter decor up through around February, you know, March-ish. So, you know, things are out for the season. You know, don't be afraid to change them up as time goes on. And that's it, guys. That is my process for decorating my mantle, for decorating any space in my home for any season. So I'll recap for you. Make sure to set your aesthetic, have fun doing that. Assess the space that you have and what you have to work with, some elements, some tones that you already have in place naturally in your home. Take a pre-existing inventory of what you already have, what you have in totes, and what you already have in that general space that maybe you don't even have to swap out. And like I said, my last maybe floating step, or just a tip in general, would be to don't be afraid to, you know, change it up, to reevaluate as time goes on. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it makes decorating your mantle seem a little bit more accessible, a little bit more fun, not so overwhelming. If you have tips and tricks for decorating your home, I would love to hear them. I'm sure everyone else would. So please drop them in the comments below. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Would love to see pictures, and again, please stay tuned for my home tour coming in a few weeks, where I'll walk you through more practical, economical ways to make your home feel a little bit cozier for fall. Happy decorating, and we'll talk soon. Bye.